Yeah.
You lead the way, so.
Yeah, I'll just be a sec.
Qualifying sets. Yeah. But...
Hello everybody and welcome to LOI Round 11, brought to you from Singapore. Today I'm going to be joined once again by my co-com Jay.
How's it going? How's things?
Beautiful, beautiful. Anyway, I was here last week with my debut on my comms around Belgium, which wasn't the most exciting race, I'll have to admit, as we had, I think, something like 8 retirements all up El Rouge and Radion, and we only got about 6 laps of clean racing as all the others were done under a safety car. So hopefully the drivers don't end up bringing out that many safety cars and everything again. Now, this track is a certain medium hards, except I'm seeing people going out on soft, so to me that indicates it's going to be rain. To me, I can only think people going on the softs because of rain. Because Singapore is no stranger to rain, we know this. I think the majority of my Singapore races, to be fair, have been under wet conditions, and I don't think I've seen very many dry ones. So Singapore, I think, might have given us a slightly interesting race with the rain, but that slows racing down. I'm not a big fan of it, so you know, it's kind of a disappointment that there's rain, but also not a disappointment. So Singapore's always a tricky, interesting track, as the nature of it, of course, being a street track, all the walls being nice, close to the track, so the drivers need to stay consistent and keep it clean, otherwise they will hit the wall, will get wing damage, and will retire from the race. Except I am seeing some people going out on the mediums, some others are still on the softs though, so people going on the softs, I'm not sure why, I can only assume rain. Two stops possible, but I don't think the 2-stop is just as quick as the 1-stop medium hard stop, because the softs, they just melt after 4 laps. It's just bad. The tyres around the strike, they overheat, or especially the softs, they overheat and then wear down very, very quickly, and you have about 4 laps on them and then they're completely gone. So I'm not really seeing anyone going out on the hards other than Ben McGarry going out on the hards. I would expect most people to do their first laps on the hards and then go to the softs, but as I'm seeing some people going on the mediums first, I imagine it's going to be rain in the race.
We'll only have to wait and see.
We'll only... So what are you saying there?
Anyone on flying lap set, we've got Jeffrey on the flying lap here, and the softs. Goodness, I want to know now if there's going to be rain or not.
I think the likelihood of rain today is, at least for the start, I think it's a definite. I think it's definitely going to happen with all these people on the softs, but Jeffrey seems to be having an alright lap right now. It seems decent, nothing too special. Getting nice and close to the wall though, which is what you want to do on this track. Use as much of the track as possible. You can see that just to that little section there on the entrance and of corners. He seems to be getting very close to the walls, which is probably what you want. He's on the pad though, which is going to be much harder for him around this track. I believe this one's a wheel track as most street circuits. Oh, we already have our first yellow flags, which seems to be a Mercedes just letting somebody through, so that's okay, but we're going to say on board Jeffrey. Yep.
Got word in, it's light rain in 20 minutes and then it's heavy rain.
Okay, is this for quali or
I
race?
think it's for the race.
Okay. So it's light rain and heavy rain.
Yeah, light rain in 20 minutes and then heavy rain. So that'll be at the end of qualifying. It should just be Ashton Jeffers invalidated.
Yeah, I just seen that.
A bit too much. Like Dilder's now just behind them.
Now we have a new driver today, being It's Always Chaos. His real name's Dylan. I know him from multiple other leagues. He's one of my friends that I've talked to before, he's a new driver, and I think he's a good pace. He's a very good pace. He's a quick driver. As you can see, he's just gone a second and a bit.
Mediums. That's crazy. That's a good lap that is on the mediums.
As I was saying, he's a quick driver, and he goes, what's that, about 1.5 seconds quicker than Solly, who's on the softs, a better tyre than Chaos's medium. So Chaos also was saying he's a very quick driver. We know this. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to challenge someone like Big Slater or a championship winner. Don't forget, but Chaos, I don't think he might be able to challenge him, but I'm not too sure. He's definitely the top 3 in this league. I would say Aspect is top 3, but he's on his wheel, so he's just getting used to that, getting new to the wheel, things like that. So he had a race around here yesterday in Classic Cars, which he was doing on his wheel, and it really didn't go well for him. He got a penalty every single lap of the race and got disqualified. So
37.2 from Connell. It's not a bad lap either.
That's not bad.
No, gone in.
My game won't let me change camera, which is fun. So we're going to be stuck on board with. There you go, now let's change cameras. But I'm on board with Michelangelo right now, who seems to be on the softs as well, as of course it's a wet race, so everybody's going to be starting on trying to qualify on the softs, as they're the quickest tyres. So trying to get that best possible quality positions here, seeing our usual medium hards. We'll be seeing softs, and then into the race we're going to be seeing the inters and the full wet tyres. So Michelangelo coming into the final few corners. I think last 4 corners is important not to invalidate there. All through this final corner it's quite easy to, if you run out wide or cut the corner a little bit too much. He didn't attack that curb as much as I was expecting. He goes 5th fastest, which is the 2nd slowest time, or 5th fastest time if you want to call it, as there's only been 6 people to set a lap so far. But we've got John Purple, I'm not sure, I think it's John Turquoise, that's Danny, and then Purple, that's Leo.
No, Purple's Ross's little brother.
Oh, okay. I get it now.
The lads want to know where's Herbert today.
Wait, Herbert the pervert?
Your voice.
Yes, not too sure where he is, but yeah, let's look at some John Purple going around the track. Yes, that's a nice corner.
Okay, I'm gonna stop doing that because professionalism and everything. But there you go, you got a little fix of Herbert, my good friend. But I'm still trying to get the stream up on my phone, which is not gone too well. But we're gonna stick with John Purple. I'll just call him that for now. I can't remember his real name. Never mind.
Ross.
But Ross I can do. I'll call him Ross and Danny just for confusion. Unconfusion. But he's coming into the final corner now. What's he going to be able to do? I think he's going to attack that much more than others have before him. He's going to cross the line 5th again. So he goes quicker than 2 other people, but not the best lap he's ever done in his life, I imagine. So we're going to go on board with Feral. I'll just call him. That looks like a feral. But I haven't seen this one drive though, so do you have any idea of their pace?
Feral? No, I haven't seen him drive myself.
Okay, so we've got a new driver.
Another new, yeah, Ushin standing in as well as a reserve driver. He'll be in Tier 1 next year. Chaos then, as you said, he'll be in Tier 1 next year.
Yeah, I know Ushin, he's... Okay, so we just had Feral going the slowest time so far today by just about a 10th. But I know Oshin from other leagues. He was once my admin in another league. He was also driven with me before. We once had the incident in Japan, which was always fun. But yeah, he's a very quick driver. I know that as well. So maybe he's taken one of the top 3 spots in this league. I would not be surprised if he was up on the podium today. He's quick. I could say that. He's probably maybe around Chaos's pace from what I know and I remember. But Jeff was setting a 137.9. Going 3rd place, which is not too bad. And it's just been beaten by Oshin.
Sayers in and out on his hard tire. He doesn't need to do much. He's won the championship. So why?
Yeah, he's.
What can we do?
I think Big Slays, he's been the clear dominant force of this league all season long. As you know, he won the championship, but yeah, I think he's quite clearly the fastest here.
Yeah. Pity now we do scuba next year. So who's going to be able, hopefully someone will be able to keep up with him, challenge him, aspect, chaos.
Yeah, if the 2020 game, maybe it might not suit Big Slater as much as the 2019 game did, or you know, we'll have someone like Aspect getting used to his wheel and getting a little bit quicker, getting up to his pad pace, which would be better for him to challenge Big Slater. So yeah, it really all depends on the new game coming into season 2 of LOI. See what people can do, but we're going to go on board with Dizzler. He's currently set at purple sector 1, it seems, so it looks like this could be a quick lap from him, but Codmasters do like to give us fake purple sectors sometimes, from what I know, but he does seem to be going very, very quickly. I'm not sure if it was him or Darwazy who last week had many penalties from hitting people on the safety car, so hopefully I don't do that this time. But Dizza, he seems to be quick from what I'm seeing right now. He seems to be able to attack the corners much. I know, I think this is going to be a good lap from him. He seems to be very, very quick. Really attacks these corners, attacks these curbs, gets his lines right, uses that track nicely. I think this is going to be a provisional pole time from Dizzler, with about 6 minutes left to go of qualifying. As he comes through the final 3 corners, one more to go. He's going to come through this corner and then across the line on his medium tyres. What can he say? Dizzler comes across the line to go second fastest, only 3/10 of a. That's a really good lap on the mediums, only 3/10 behind Chaos, who's currently setting a soft time. His other time was on the mediums, but yeah, Chaos, he's now gone for the soft, so he's most likely going to be able to improve on this lap as he sets that purple sector 2, not sector 1, sector 2, as we've got a yellow flag sector 1, but that's okay. But Chaos seems to be locking up a little bit there. Oh, he got a little bit slidey on the rear as he's locking up. His brakes getting a bit slidey, but it's still going to be a quick lap from Chaos. He'll have one more lap in him, I think, once he comes into the pits. After this one, it's going to be quite tight, but no, I know he comes into the pits now, so decides that he's going to wait for the better, fresher track a little bit later on in this race. It's the same with No Reaction. Who else is on our lap?
Slider coming around the last 3 corners there.
Ah, yeah, there you go. Big Slate, he's on the highs right now. I won't be surprised if he pulls into pits. No, he decides to stick with it. He can do what he likes now. He's the championship winner. Goes out very wide, but still legal. Still puts himself right in the middle despite being on the highs. 37.6. Quicker than quite a few drivers despite being on those hard tyres. So that just proves Big Slate's pace and how he's painfully quick. But this track is the longest in terms of running time on the whole calendar. It takes the longest amount of time, and I think it's got the longest amount of laps around it. So yeah,
31.
Especially with rain now as well coming into the race, that's going to be even longer. So we're going to be here for a very long time, especially if there's safety cars as well. As safety car laps around here are well over 2 minutes, and in the rain it'll be even longer. So you know, I think I wouldn't be surprised if we see this race going well over maybe an hour and a half or something. I don't even know. It's going to be a long time. Maybe not an hour and a half though, a bit long.
It takes the first 2 corners very well. Also on the hard tour, I don't see why. Is it going to stop raining at the end? You know what I mean? Because it happens again.
I mean, if it's starting the race on the wet tyres, then I could only imagine you'd go for the softs, but I don't know, maybe these drivers haven't checked the weather report, haven't bothered to check it, so I don't know, maybe they didn't check and they still think it's all a normal dry race. But sadly they'd be on the wrong tyres to try and qualify on, as it's going to be wet, of course. But we're going to go on board with Jeff, who seems to be on a lap right now. 3 minutes left to go. He cuts that curve quite a lot, but it seems to be okay. This would be a DRS straight in the race, but it's not because it's wet, so we haven't got any DRS. This is turn 7. Looks quick from Jeffer, but that turn 7 would be one of our normal overtaking opportunities on this track, I'd say, especially with the DRS and slipstream that you would have. That's probably the best overtaking opportunity on this track, along with the hairpin corner after the hairpin and probably the first corner. So, you know, it's going to be different in the rain. See how some of the drivers manage, if they've got a wet setup or what it is. But Jeffer seems to be going quite quickly. Never mind, he's just gone a little bit wide there, and that's definitely going to compromise his exit and his chance of setting a good time.
Another purple sector though.
Yeah, he still seems to be going quickly. Still waiting for some people to come out of the pits to start their outlap and go for another soft time. We have 4 of the 5 drivers up in the top 5, all currently sitting on the mediums, so I'm not sure why they haven't decided to go for a soft lap, but they haven't. But as Jeffer comes up to the final corner, I think this could be a possible pole time. He doesn't go as quickly through the final corner as he would have liked. Only go as 3rd fastest though.
Also, we mentioned here Pat Sharkey into second, 36.8.
Yeah, I've just seen that. I think that Jeffer could have easily got a provisional pole time there if he had attacked that final corner much more. He seems to slow down.
He went very deep in sector 2, wasn't it?
Yeah, he went very deep in the hairpin. But Pat Sharkey's qualifying is now going to be over as he pulls into the pits. We have a few drivers on outlaps right now.
Chaos is waiting, letting people go by him.
Yeah, he's probably trying to wind down the time just a little bit as well as he does that. A few drivers might end up in a little bit of a train here.
I think Aspect is just getting used to the wheel because he hasn't set a time. Since 6 laps on the softs. Must be getting used to the feel of the track.
Yeah, I guess so.
Killian. Green Pies hasn't got the fast first sector.
I'm not sure.
He's crashed. Killian's did the wall. So unlucky. He's lost the left side of his wing.
I see that now. Aspect, I don't think he's managed to do much practice for this race. I mean, he had that race yesterday, but it wasn't really the best race for him. So that was also in Classic Car, so he's definitely not used to this track. But yeah, he's going to be starting closer to the back on his wheel, which I feel maybe the back's a little bit of a better place to be, as you know, this race has potential for throwing a lot of cars, you know, around, sending them spinning around. So
starts his lap, just makes it. Jeez, what a tip. How tight that was. In the medium to wire here. There's no proposal for grabs here between Slayer and Chaos. I wonder if anyone else can loop in on the party.
Maybe Oshin can do something. You've just seen, I think that was John Purple. That's somebody. Ross, hang on. Oshin's lap was invalidated, so he's not going to be able to set a time. He's going to have to settle with the 8th as Michelangelo goes into the walls. We went on board with Sully, so a few people pushing a little bit too hard and putting their cars into the wall, which is not recommended. I don't recommend that, that's not good. But Sully, he's currently sitting in P7, but he's attacking this track nicely, so I think this could be a good time from Sully, maybe challenging Chaos up the top, but I'm not sure.
Great pull off here. It's this Aspect he's going to pull off. It is indeed. That's going to gain him some time there.
He gets Purple 62. So Big Slater looks like he's got himself a possibility of qualifying on pole position. Surprising Chaos is on the mediums though. He's decided not to go with the soft lap. So
Chaos has validated, so it's up for grabs here for Slayer.
Absolutely. So he's gone for the mediums, which is definitely the weaker tyre, especially as there's going to be rain. So
around the corner, definitely.
There it is.
25.7, a second quicker.
He's
second
just...
a bit quicker on the mediums. It's just...
He's a madman. Last one's going to be Michelangelo. He unfortunately spun and crashed on his lap as he's going to pull into the pit, so we're going to have to wait for that, which is annoying. I'd rather just cross the line, but never mind.
Which all the boys from up the north who racers are delighted that Patriarchy. The odds are against him. 3. He apparently drives out of Singapore, as he's saying.
Absolutely, but anyway, that's going to be the end of our qualifying. We have Big Slater going on pole by over a second as he's just continuing his dominant run of form. Despite being on the medium tyres, goes miles quicker than anyone else, and that's a big accident. Okay, the AR cars just decided to crash into each other, and I've got 3 cars just kind of vibing on the track, crash into each other, which is always fun. So, you know, but yeah, Big Slater setting the quickest time wants to get by over a second. No surprises there. Chaos coming in second, also in the Ferrari, so we got a Ferrari 1-2. Ferrari seems to be quick. They have also won the Constructors from what I know, so Ferrari again having a nice weekend. Chaos coming in second, and then I'll run through the rest of the grid in just a second. Okay, there we go. So we got Pat Sharkey in P3. I've never seen him race before, so that's good for him. We got Jeff from P4, Dizzler in P5, Sully in P6, Colin Darwise and Oshin all 7th, 8th and 9th. Oshin, I expect some good driving from him, some good results. I know he's quick, he unfortunately invalidated his final time, so he's still got a bit of potential. Michelangelo unfortunately crashed on his first lap, sitting in P10. And then we got Mailman, Ben McGarry, Ross, Green Pies, Ferrell, Aspect Gravity, Infinity, No Reaction, and Danny, all rounding out our top 10. So, Aspect Gravity and Infinity not setting a time. I think they might be trying to go from the back up, as we had Gravity in the chat saying, me and Kevin asked the podium challenge, question mark. I doubt they're going to be able to manage that, but if they want to give it a go, sure. But yeah, they're all not setting a time, and a couple of other people didn't set a time too, so I'm not sure if that's tactics or never got a lap in, but you know, we're going to be starting our formation up very soon as the drivers, they put on their strategies and their setup sort of. I just realised it looks quite dry.
Big make me stomachs in my ears.
Okay. But it looks quite dry, so as I was talking about rain, I was actually wrong. So some people, I think the people qualified on the softs, they might be just trying to take these softs to whatever wet period there is, but
I think it's... No, it's not.
No, it's not wet at all. It's completely dry, so I can only assume that there's going to be a wet period a little bit later on in the race, so some people have chose to go on the softs, but the people towards the back going on the hard tyres, the majority of the people outside of the top 10 going on the hards, other than 3 drivers who have chosen to go on the mediums. So the people up in that top 10 qualifying the softs, I'm not sure if that was a mistake from them, if there's not going to be any rain in this race, but the mediums may just be the best tyre to do this race on.
Yeah, I think mediums are hard. It's gonna be, unless Jeff or Michelangelo all come in to the 2-stop soft medium, which could work out in the end. I mean, if you keep up the pace.
Yeah, so I think your top 2 could be quite predictable in this race, being Big Slater and Chaos, as they seem to be very, very quick, of course. But you know, anything can happen. We can see some crashes, some safety cars, anything to change this race around Singapore. It's no stranger to those, maybe a bit of weather as well to make things interesting. So we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens in this race, really.
Leo saying if Danny gets points, he's gonna get a Chinese.
I had burgers today. Not sure if I'd fancy Chinese.
Oh, but that was the rings thing. Me in bits, don't make me in bits. It's good to see now how this is gonna.
I think it's between the 2 Ferrari drivers up the front there. I think that's the
Connell, O'Shea and Aspect. He's gonna. I mean, I won't expect a strong race from Aspect. He's only on the wheel, but I'm gonna expect him in top 6, 7, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, we have no idea. We're just gonna have to wait, see what happens in this race. But you know, I think Chaos and Big Slater is our obvious top 2 pick, but you know, anything could happen. We've just realised there's 3 drivers who've been disqualified for the formation up. I'm not sure who they are, but yeah, never mind.
McGarry, I think, or could be Infinity. Mayo Man says Mayo for Sam. Yeah, you're right. Mayo for sandwiches. It's the only thing for Sam.
Okay, so it's going to be the final few drivers lining up at the grid now, as we're about to get this Singapore race underway. The 5 red lights are now on, and they're gone. And when this has happened again. Okay.
The glitch.
Love it when this happens. There we go. And we're racing in Singapore in LOA round 11. It looks like the Ferraris have got a good start. I'm not sure who's got the best start right now. I haven't got a good camera because it's going to be Chaos coming up the inside into the first corner. Big Slater managed to hold on right now. There's a Red Bull off in the wall already. That's somebody. I think that was Jeff already around. So one of our strong drivers today is already off in the wall. One of those Toro Rossos, he's had a decent start. He's going side by side with Ben and Gary right now. That's Michelangelo. Other people still going side by side coming into turn 4. That's a lot of fighting going on right now. Ben McGarry having a little bit of a fight with Michelangelo. Looks like that might be nobody going side by side right now. Can't see anything going on. But Big Slater leads the way right now. Coming into turn 7. The Alfa Romeo of Green Pies under a little bit of threat. There's somebody else round again. Somebody in the wall. That looks like it's Pat Sharkey up P3. And that's the other Renault, sorry. Mayo Man getting a little bit slidey. So there's a bit of damage for the Renault. Pat Sharkey moving down the order just a little bit. Michelangelo sitting at P10 still. What was that?
Ragers Chaos has dropped.
Oh yeah, I've just seen that. Except the Alfa Romeo Green Pies fight a little bit with Aspect. Aspect currently P12, except there goes Gravity on Green Pies. He's going to go with the inside into but Green Pies always coming into Darwise's lines. He made a little bit of contact with the wall and the Toro Rosso of Gravity, except they all go through there cleanly right now. But do you have any idea what happened to Chaos off the start there?
No, I think it was just a bad start. He dived into the corner, first corner, and didn't get a great exit off it. He tried them on the two Force India's machine, Connell and Slater. Slater already has a 2-second time gap. He's just building already. I don't remember the second lap.
Yeah, it's no surprises there, but Oshin moving himself all the way up into P4 very, very quickly. So really good start from him as you got Chaos sitting in behind Solly. Almost got him Scotty there. I've been watching too much Brooklyn 99, but here comes Chaos. Is he going to be able to launch it up the inside, coming into the first corner? No, he sits and he waits for now. We have Pat Sharkey pulling into the pits as he has got himself some wing damage off the start. So you know.
We have Aspect, Gravity, both up 5, Farrell up 5, Aspect up 6 now, sorry. Dilder up 3, Connell 4, Oshin up 5, Chaos down 4, Darwisey down 6, John Puckle down 3, and Jeffer down 13.
It looks like Darwisey is putting up a little bit of pressure on the Williams of Ferrer, our new driver. He doesn't go from just that yet. Coming up to lap 2 out of 31, so still very long time to go in this race. Lots can change, but a lot of drivers making up some positions, some getting unfortunate, moving down. As we've got a yellow flag. I'm no idea what's that for, except here comes Darwisey. Almost going up the inside of Ferrer, except he decided to back out. This isn't quite the place to try and overtake, except this hairpin is an opportunity, so he might look for it now, try and go for it. Ferrer moves up there. Oh, into the middle. Darwisey goes a little bit late on brakes, and Green Pies hits into him, and Darwisey's in the wall, and he's losing positions now, as he kind of had a bit of contact with the Alfa Romeo, and got pushed into the wall, and has lost that noise. Chaos has just got past Solly. I just missed that. Solly's on the softs, so those tyres are going to start going off very, very soon as the Red Bull Darwisey, I think he's off in the wall again. So it's just getting worse with that wing damage. Darwisey unfortunately moving down the order, but Solly, his tyres are going to start going off quite soon, I imagine, as the softs do not last long at all. But there's still a fight going down in the back of the grid. That's Infinity and Darwisey's Darwisey. He's going very slowly, of course, but now it's Ferrell and... Oh, okay, so Gravity's pulling into the pits already off of his hard tyres. I'm not sure. I think he might have got a little bit of wing damage after getting caught up in a fight or something, but Big Slate's already got 3.3 seconds, which is a terrifying gap for 3 laps. I think he's about second a lap quicker than anybody else, but Aspect, fair play to him off the side. He's already moved up to P10. It looks like it could be P9 now. He's going to go around the outside into P7 on Michelangelo. He's going to go for it. has just about enough from him and Michelangelo going side by side. Michelangelo cannot do anything about that. Aspect goes a little bit deep, a little bit too late on his brakes, except Michelangelo, I don't think he's going to be able to take that side by side, as he has to see that position.
Jeffrey has got boy jump up with good overtake. Big overtake.
Good, but...
well, so we have Chaos now on the back of Ushin. He's going to get a great... I've got a launch, he has a great launch here. Launch down the inside, he's going to go for it. He does indeed, he sees the gap. And he goes. The fourth gain and then places back.
There you go, Chaos, moving yourself up to P4. He had a horrible start, but locks up at his brakes, which isn't going to help him, but that's not going to phase him too badly. But Chaos, he had a bad start, but he's making up for that now, making himself a threat to the other drivers as he pulls himself back up to P4, hopefully trying to seek out that P2 again, if he can manage it, but Connell's just ahead of him as Connell actually pulls into pits.
Has he got damage?
I can only imagine. I'm not sure why anybody would pit quite this early into the race, but you know, as we have
3 seconds. He doesn't. Does he?
I think that is a wing chain. Yeah, it is a wing chain. She has got a bit of damage. As there's a bit of fighting between Aspects and Ben McGarry right now. Aspects, he's fighting for that P6. He's going quite quickly right now. Swipes around the outside. A beautiful move on Ben. Ben had to concede that position. He couldn't do anything about it. Just got done by Aspects, except he's going to come back at him now. I think he's got that DRS. He's going to opt for the outside line. The Haas around the outside of the McLaren turns in on him a little bit. A bit of contact being made. Ben almost got around. Aspect almost got around too as they made contact. And Ben's got himself back into P6, but it wasn't without its kind of controversy, a bit of contact. So Aspect's going to be displeased, and Michelangelo has the chance to try and come back. Except Aspect, he's got much better launch off that corner. He's going to be able to go up the inside of Ben, and Ben, I mean, there's no way he was trying to defend that position.
Jeffrey has hit the wall, so he's lost his end plate again.
Ah.
So it'd be best for him to come in and pit now. He's doing the two-stopper anyway. Have we got anyone else? Ranzo and Ben McGarry. He's close off. He's not.
But anyway, looks like Big Slater is quite clearly the quickest driver again. He's sitting pretty about 5 seconds up on anybody else, and the gaps are starting to form in this race already. Not too many people within a second of each other. We've got Oshin behind Chaos right now. He seems to be going a little bit slower.
Oshin needs his teammate up into the top 10 because there's a fight for the constructors. The Williams and the Racing Points both fighting. I think there's only 5 points between them.
Michelangelo pulls into the pits after being on those softs for only 4 laps. Like I said, the softs really don't last that long, so no surprises there.
We have the Williams on 130 points as constructors, and Racing Point are on 125. So who's going to take that second seat, the second place in the constructors?
I think that's their only real fight for anything now. Only 5 points separating them, so that'll lead us into the final round of the season, which is around Japan, I believe.
Isn't it?
Not a bad track. It's quite an enjoyable track. As Gravity has just got past his Toro Rosso teammate Michelangelo, but Connell is quite close behind Pat Sharkey now, only 2 tenths away. He's close to him. He's just at purple sector 1. In fact, this yellow flag in sector 2. I think that might be John Purple. John Purple is around. He's in the track. He's on the racing line right now. Hopefully that doesn't mean anyone hits him. He's quite far away from people, but I'm not sure how that happened, but he's lost himself many positions, and it's not good for him. But Connell is all over the back of Pat Sharkey right now. If he could just find a way through Pat Sharkey, then move himself up to P11, try and fight for just a couple of points maybe.
Alan's not patient here, he'll make a mistake.
Yeah, that's true. You have to be patient around Singapore. It's mostly a waiting game around this track. It's the only 2 cars within a second of each other right now on the track, so these two are the only fight we have right now. Other than that, we're just going to have to, you know, have a chat. Yeah, the final corner is crucial if you want to be able to make a move. He's about 5 tenths away right now. it seems to be okay, quite equal between them.
I do believe he will go for this down here. He's close enough, he'll go for it. He's not just off him. He'll do the second straight.
I'd say so. That's probably the best place to try and make a move on this track, the easiest. And
John Purple's going into the pits. He boys up. Aspect P6, he's doing well. Not too far from a Mailman 8/10 off.
Yeah, after starting right at the back, did Aspect, he's now up into P6. So it's been a really good drive from him so far, but Connell cannot find that way past Pat Sharkey just in front of him. I think Pat might have some good straight line speed compared to Connell, and that's why Connell isn't able to, you know, make that move and get past him right now. So, you know, he's just going to sit in behind and wait. But Aspect's now within about 6/10 of Mailman, so he could be pushing himself up into that top 5.
Connell takes the wide line here. He can get a good exit here. Oh, he gets a great exit, Connell. He's right up behind him now.
He is. I don't think he's going to waste any time trying to get past him. He looks for that inside. He's going to go up the inside of the Renault. There's a bit of contact being made right now, almost pushing him off into the wall. Pat has a decent exit. He's still going to take it side by side, so he's not going to give up too easily. Connell's still on the inside, the favoured line, so the Renault cannot do much about it. Has to let that through. Concedes that P11. Maybe he's going to be able to fight back with a bit of DRS and slipstream, but I think Connell is the quicker driver. As we're going to go with Aspect, who is close behind Mailman and might be able to make a move. He's close to him, but it's just not quite close enough. DRS and slipstream works, but it's not working just enough. He got a really good exit compared to Mailman, but you know, it's just some of the corners in this track aren't overtaking opportunities at all. You can take them side by side sometimes, but actually starting a move, launching a move is almost impossible unless it's side by side in the first place. Aspect also seems to be a little bit better on the brakes, but Connell and Pat currently having a little bit of a fight. Connell's lost out of the position now. They're up into the side of the top 10 and they are closing in on the cars ahead of them. So now we've finally got some fights for points. No reaction is being caught by Connell, and Pat just behind Connell. Just vibing really, but we're going to stick with Aspect, trying to fight for this P4. Get himself some good points. It's been a disappointing couple of races for Aspect, and he's going to want to change that for this race. He seems to be having some decent pace right now. Able to fight in the top 5, but not quite the top level of driving he'd wish for. As Connell's just got past No Reaction. They're still going side by side actually. Connell gets in front of No Reaction. I completely missed the whole, pretty much the entire overtake, which is disappointing, but No Reaction moves down into P10 and into the clutches of Pat behind him, as we have, I think that's Chaos pitting in for a new win.
Sharky has just lost his right end plate.
And I've just missed that Aspect has got in front of Mailman, so yeah, he's now run off into P3 as Chaos is pit for a new front wing and has got him to the medium, so I'm not sure why he chose to do that, but I can only assume he got a bit of wing damage from bumping into the wall or something and had to pit. Oh! He's actually just spun out of the pit lane as well. Chaos, he was about to rejoin with No Reaction and Pat. Sorry, my headset's broken. I have to reconnect it. That's a horrible sound you're hearing, but Chaos spins out of the pit lane, gets wing damage, and just he's probably thrown away his chances of getting a P2.
No Reaction.
Just seen that.
Goes a bit wide. No Reaction from back.
Oh, No Reaction got really close to his rear end there. Very up close and personal. His gearbox got us out a little bit wide, as I think somebody's just gone off. I think that might have been Danny. I'm not too sure. Just been lapped by Big Slater, so Michelangelo and Chaos having a little bit of a fight now. It's just Michelangelo getting past Chaos, so I think Chaos might have just thrown away his chances of a podium by getting quite big amounts of damage. So
Danny's into the pits. Who else have we got? Chaos, 10 seconds for cutting the corner. I don't think that'd be worth it. He's gonna hold up green poison now. No Reaction. Sharky pulling away, a couple of close on Farrell now.
Yes, indeed, he's getting close to him. Farrell doesn't seem to have much pace right now. I don't remember these two being quite close to each other, so I think Farrell might be having a few issues. Pat goes wider through the last corner as he would have liked. He's actually got a bit of wing damage. I just realised he's got both of his end plates missing, so he's just got a plank.
I'd say he's trying to pull out into last seconds, didn't? There's no point in him pitting.
Yeah, I think so. He's got much better exit though than Farrell. Farrell had an absolute awful exit. Here goes Pat with his DRS. He's going to have to go around the outside. The Williams on the inside. Farrell, is he going to be able to hold it? No, Pat's just about that little bit further in front of him is Green Pies. Pit's in from P16. Pat goes off into the wall though. Ah, a bit too late on the brakes and he's lost his entire front wing. Now he's got nothing. He's just got a little thing sticking out the front of his car. So that's Pat Sharkey's race going much worse.
All the lads up the north now are all loaded. They all had a thing for Pat to be in the wall tonight. He's doing so well, it's so unfortunate.
I know, it's disappointing, but Sheen, he's just behind our reactions. He recently pit only a couple of laps ago. He's still inside of the top 10, so decent points are still an option for him. He's going to go up the inside of no reaction on the corner after the hairpin. I'm not sure why it's cold. No reaction gets a much better exit, a much better switchback than Oshin managed, except Oshin just has that better setup, a better pace, and no reaction's gone straight into him. Oshin just about able to keep the car on the track. Same no reaction. Just kind of hit him into him. I was really close. That could have ended badly, but John Purple just behind Infinity now for P17, almost hitting into the back of her there, but he's sitting behind her, coming up to hairpin.
10 laps of full racing. No safety car.
I mean, I predicted 4 safety cars, but hopefully the lads have proven me wrong. And surprisingly, no safety cars have happened just yet, except John Purple. He's trying to look for the outside. He dives up the inside of Jess, or Infinity, sorry, and goes way off the track and way off into the runoff, and he's just completely done himself there. As Infinity also made it past Green Pies. I'm not sure how that happened, but we have a yellow flag. It's a Mercedes of John Purple. Was off in the runoff, made a huge mistake under the brakes and just sent himself off the track. His Chaos pits and retires from the session. He's given up, he's had enough now. But Green Pies, he's on new stuffs just behind Infinity's on 6-lap old Haas. He gets a much better exit than she does. He's got the DRS and he's going to be able to make that move into the first corner. Infinity, she looks to try and get that position back, but it just wasn't quite worth it. Gravity's just behind Pat, who's just pit. He's got the DRS, he's got the slipstream into turn 7. I don't think he's close enough to be able to make a move. He isn't, so he's going to be sitting behind for just a little while longer, hopefully trying to keep in contact, keep close to him for just a little while. But Aspects is currently on the alternate strategy, and the alternate strategy works really well for him. I've seen it in other leagues when I've raced with him before. When he goes on the alternate strategy, it can help him out so much. It's quite scary, really. So I think Aspect is very likely he's going to get a podium today. I think that's very likely.
They're 13 seconds ahead. It's just...
He's too quick. He's head and shoulders above everyone else, and the rain has started coming down on lap 11. The rain has begun, and as I was saying with the alternate strategy, Aspect doesn't get the chance to pull that off, provided the rain comes down hard enough for long enough to be able to, you know, cause the interties to happen. As this is such a long lap, the drive is going to be very important.
Jeffr's in already. Jeffr's in already.
Oh, that's way too early. I mean,
it's heavy down the main street. Very heavy down the main street. It's starting to...
Now, the drivers now have to make the decision quite quickly. It's because this track is so long, the laps are so long, it's going to be a longer wait to be able to try and go onto the wetter tyres to, you know, go onto the wet weather tyres quicker in the wet weather, of course. Sorry, my
Slayer doesn't
brain's
think
broken.
so. 12 seconds ahead.
Because this track is so long, it gives the track a longer amount of time to be able to become wind up. Gravity's just launched up the inside of Pat, absolutely sent it into him. Lets him back through though. That was a bit of a ridiculous move, went way too late on the brakes and just kind of slaps into Pat and slaps himself into the wall. Oh, there you go. Okay.
So well. He was doing so well, Van was.
Where did he crash? Oh, he just went too deep. There's the first safety car though.
Pushing into him for the intermediates. What will Slater do?
Everybody's got to pit for the inters now, surely. I've just seen somebody just got a drive through.
Yeah, they're wising under the safety car.
Okay. That's disappointing, but never mind, eh? But I think all the drivers now are going to pit onto the inters. That's the only real option they have, so, you know.
Slayer think it's wet enough. He'll have to. I can't see him staying out.
Yeah, I can't see him staying out either. I can't see anybody staying out. It'd just be stupid. They just lost. You just lose position. So everybody now going to move into the pits. Is a few more drivers overtake the dead car of no reaction.
Logie was no reaction, was doing so well. And off those to the straights then.
Yeah.
Straight into the barrier.
It's disappointing. Brings out our first safety car today. Yeah, no surprises there. So basically everybody who hasn't pit onto the inters just yet are definitely going to pit onto the inters now, and I don't think anyone's really going to lose any time to people like Oshin, who's just pit onto the inters as they're going quite slowly and they've got quite a big gap. Or at least Connor's got a big gap.
So many places. See, Slayer's 2 laps ahead of some people.
I know. He's scarily quick. He's a dominant driver that there's no one who could really challenge him, if I'm honest. Yeah, he's a top tier driver who I've never really seen in any leagues before, which quite surprises me considering his pace. So, you know, some people starting to pick up penalties now. I'm not sure how much of this race will be decided on penalties, but, you know, everybody is now onto the inters. So we have 2 DNFs in this race. One of them a crash, one of them a forced retirement, which is disappointing for Chaos. He had so much potential, but I guess we cursed him really. It didn't quite go his way. He got some wing damage, pits, spun out the pits, got more wing damage, and then he just dropped down the order a little bit as Ben McGarry's about to get overtaken by Oshin. I have no idea what happened there, and it's Danny's just got disqualified from the session for ignoring the yellow flags.
Green boys, 5 seconds for corner coming.
I've just seen. Why is the same people getting disqualified from the session? I think that just might be a glitch. I'm not sure though. I have absolutely no idea. Okay, well it says they were disqualified, but they're not actually disqualified, which is pretty cool. Thank you, Codmasters. But yeah, looking at it now, in the wet conditions, this has brought the grid a little bit closer together, allowing some of the drivers to get back into this race, which they, as Garrity pits again, I assume he's probably got himself wing damage somehow by just being himself. But yeah, now the grid's going to be brought closer together and have the chance to race each other, except with the wet weather he got no DRS or anything like that to aid your overtaking. So these drivers are going to find a little bit harder to overtake without that, but you know, I think it's going to keep people a little bit more calm, stop them from going for so many stupid moves. You know, wet weather kind of calms people down. What was that?
Infinity needs to come by the safety car.
You're not allowed in this game, it'll give you a penalty.
Yeah, Yeah, no, we'll just remove the penalty because it's going to hold up the safety car.
Ah, yeah. I don't think she knows that law, so. But Aspect somehow has moved himself up into P2, which is quite surprising really. He's done really well to do that, starting from pretty far back. I think it's like 16th or something, but yeah, Aspect, he's done a really good job today, proving that he has got that pace and he can do well despite being on the wheel. Except I think has he moved on to his pad? I can't see. Maybe he's giving up with the wheel and decided to move on to the pad. That's why he's doing so good and being so quick. But now up into P2, I know he absolutely loves the intermediate conditions, the light rain. I know he loves it. So this could help him keep his chance of staying up in the top 3. I think, except he is going to be held up by his own sister, to be fair. Infinity just ahead of him, he's going to be held up by her, except he'll be able to go through her off the start, so it shouldn't compromise him too badly.
Did you say sister?
Yeah.
Oh.
Infinity's his sister, which is fun. So we've got 2 females in this league, which is the most I've ever seen in one league. So yeah, at least we've got some women drivers, getting a bit more diversity in the league racing scene. But I'm not sure if Aspect's going to be able to challenge Big Slater. My controller just died. But I'm not sure if Aspect's going to be able to challenge Big Slater coming into the green flags again, because I think Big Slater's just that bit too quick for him.
Oh yeah, I think so.
We've got one more lap under the safety car now. So I'm just going to try and make sure my controller charges because it's having a fit with me right now. Okay, there we go. It's working. Cool.
Yeah, like Gary's in the pits on the Zoom when it's for a new win.
Yeah, probably. Maybe here into the back of somebody. He pits onto the full wets. I was going to say the rain looks like it's coming down a little bit heavier now. But I'm not sure if there's puddles on the side of the track in some places, but I'm not sure if it's quite enough for the full wets just yet. We're about halfway through this race. The halfway point will be next lap, I do believe, lap 16. So halfway through this race, the rain's coming down a little bit heavier right now. Into tyres for everybody but Ben McGarry, so we're just going to have to keep an eye on Ben's pace, see how quick he's going, how well he's doing. But yeah, that's an interesting call. Maybe we'll see some other drivers pull in and follow suit. The rain's coming down heavier and heavier as it goes, but you know, I think it's still just about ready for the inters, and the wet tyres and the inter tyres are probably going to be quite similar, as you also have green pies.
He's going for full wets as well. It must be
Oh no, to me it looks like he's gone on to the inters. Never mind, he's on the full wets now. Yeah, my game just broke a bit there. But yeah, it's coming down a bit heavier, the rain, but do you think it's quite wet enough for the full wets?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with you.
Will play his games here.
Yeah, hold everybody up.
All the way back, and then he'll just shoot off, and no one will realise. And he'll be 3 seconds ahead for anyone who does.
That's true. That's just how he works. No matter what he does, he'll be 3 seconds ahead. But I expect maybe straight off the start he'll be able to challenge him, but I doubt it, especially with that lap car just ahead of him. Oh, okay. I think Jason might just run into the back of him. I'm not really too sure what happened there. Sally also getting one. People just banging into each other right now. Not recommended.
Green boys, 5 seconds, and here he goes, off he goes.
There you go. Yeah, we're racing again. Green flag's already a second for Big Slater. Coming on to the restart. And he's off away. I mean, there's no catching him now. He's off. He's too quick. So now we're just going to have to see what happens closer towards the back. As I cannot see anybody trying to make a move into the first corner right now. There's a big 2-second gap. There goes Michelangelo up the inside of Ferro coming into the first corner. Ferro leaves him a bit of space, but Michelangelo just backed out of it. Decided not to go for the move. Just sat back and waited, but now he has the chance. He's got an unbelievable exit compared to Ferro. He's going to be able to go around the outside. Coming into turn 4 and he gets the move done on the Williams. Just about. That was quite terrifying. Otherwise, he's got a much better exit on Ferro. Now he's going to be on the inside, coming up to turn 7. Is he going to have to back out? He seems to be going quite quick. It's going to be quite a launch if he's going to take that side by side. As Jeffer, his Red Bull teammate, goes around the outside. Sorry, that's Ferro going a little bit wide, losing a bit of position to both Red Bulls. Drops down into P11 outside of the points now. Jeffer moves up into P10. Otherwise, he moves up into P9. Quite luckily, Jeffer is a quick driver, so
this doesn't help Williams at all in the constructors. He needs to get back into the point. Well, as it stands, it's not going to help because the racing points are 6th. The rain looks like it's getting very heavy.
It does. It really does. There goes Dalwazy up the inside of Michelangelo. Almost a bit of contact is made. Jeff is now going to go side by side with his Red Bull teammate coming down this long straight. I think Jeff has got that little bit more straight line speed, and Dalwazy's going to try and launch up the inside. Maybe he looks at it but decided not to. Michelangelo just ahead of them now. Hopefully they're going to be able to close up that gap. Yeah, he's not too far off him. But Oshin now, he's just behind Mailman for P4, so Oshin's still looking at a possible podium today. You know, we can't count him out of that. He could maybe do it. He's sitting behind Mailman for now, except it's only a matter of time until he makes that move. Lost the rear end just a little bit on the second last corner, which is not going to help him in his pursuit to try and overtake Mailman for P4. But looking behind him, he's got a little bit of a train going on. Some drivers quite close. Connell getting close to the back of Solly, fighting with that racing point. I just realised he got past him actually. Solly made a mistake or something, lost that position to Connell, and yeah, Williams getting a few points back at a racing point. But overall, it still looks like Racing Point are going to be able to take home a few more points compared to the old Green Place is retired, and that's another safety car. Here are the safety cars that we're all used to. Jeffer just started going side. I think Jeffer might have just spun, which isn't good on the safety car again.
Has retired. Well, I wonder if it was the wets were you know what I mean? Their bands back in with the intermediates, so I don't think the wets were super fire.
Yeah, seems that way.
Or something, making a huge mistake right there.
What was that?
Bills made a big mistake there. Out of that corner. I know it's on the side car, but nearly into the wall. It's getting very heavy now. My man's a drive-through pounding underneath the safety car. It was going too quick, I'm assuming. He was indeed.
Yeah, that's a mistake I seem to find happening more and more often, and I'm not sure why or how, but you know, people are doing it. I find it almost impossible to manage the speed, but this brings aspect close again as we got another Rages. Got a nice long time to sit behind the safety car and just kind of vibe, I guess.
I do believe that. Yeah.
There you go, Oshin pits. I'm not sure that's gonna be for the full wet tyres. Yeah, full wet tyres for Oshin now.
I don't know why. I don't think it was a wing. It might have been a wing change. Was I wasn't. I mean,
yeah, wing change.
And another drive-through pounds. He used 2 drive-through pounds now. That's his race.
That's going to promote everybody up one position, so they've been blessed with that.
Unless it's a glitch. Obviously, at the race, you might see it every time it's a glitch.
Yeah, of course, but I don't know. Anything can happen now. But looking at it right now, I think it's still between Big Slater and Aspect to round out our top two, but for P3, I'm really not that sure if I'm honest. Who do you think is going to be able to get P3 in this race?
Been an interesting race so far, a good race.
It's been pretty interesting. We've got 2 safety cars now, so run for a couple more, which I really hope doesn't happen. I just want green flags from here to the end so we can get this over and done with quickly. But this is F1, this is LOI, so I imagine that's not going to happen, and people aren't going to treat me to what I want. So that's always fun. We only have 2 drivers currently sitting on the full wet tyres, those being Oshin and Danny down in P17 and P11. So Oshin might be quick for a while, but I think after only a few laps it's going to become into conditions again. I think that's actually already happening. The rain's getting lighter.
It's gonna get lighter.
I think it's started to get lighter now. Yeah, the rain's definitely getting much lighter, so I think Oshin on the wets is going to have a hard time as Mailman just got overtaken by Sully. I'm not sure why or how, but he's dropped down from P4 to P6. I think he might have actually spun or something, as Connell and Sully have got past him as Oshin goes back into the pits. I guess it's gone back for the inters. Yep, back for the inters he goes. He's decided the wet tyres are not what he wants and are not strong enough on this track, so he pits in and decides to change.
Ocean, as you said, back in the pits for the intermediates, so it's obviously getting lighter.
Yeah, I wonder if it will dry out towards the end of the race. I kind of doubt it though, with about 12-13 laps remaining. I think it's quite unlikely that it will dry out by the end, but I can hope. But there's not really much else to talk about now. With this race, we've just got to wait and see what happens on the restart. I think the biggest race inside the race is going to be the one for P3, as we have Big Slater and Aspect, I think, being quite clearly the top 2. But then everybody else on the track, I'm really not too sure. I think, you know, it's kind of between Dizzler, Connell, Sully, I'd say, between those 3 to try and get that P3, but Connell is putting in a bit of work for that Williams team, keeping them in that constructors fight with Racing Point. He's currently in between 2 of them. Farrell sitting down in P8 with Mailman's drive-through and maybe penalties ahead of him. He can get in front of one of those Racing Points, and you know, the constructors can last as an interesting battle coming all the way into the final round of this season, as John Purple gets a 5-second penalty for a collision with Dalwazy, as it looks like we're going to have one more lap under safety car, which is just annoying. So we'll have 12 laps to go to the end, and hopefully no more safety cars. That's all I wish for, all I hope for.
His end play. I do believe it's one of the Jeffers into the pits. His wing seems to broke.
Seems to be quite heavy on the rain again.
Pushing in 5 seconds.
He's just parked it on the inside there. I think he was letting John Purple back through. I'm not sure why, maybe because of that contact, but spun him round or something, but he's now dropped down to P12 and he's got himself more wing damage and might have to pit again. But looking at it now, Mailman still has to serve a drive-through, so
Connell up to P4.
yeah, sandwiched in between those two racing points.
And Farrell into P8, so it's Williams are. Hey, what can he do in the last 11 laps?
Maybe he can get himself off into that podium. It's a possibility, but I'm really not too sure.
Connell was driving an AI, apparently. Taking me poems. A lot of our normal lads at tier 1 leave or out on the rip. A few cans. So we're missing Tiger Roll and well, that's looking forward to next season. We can have you on board.
What was that?
So are you looking forward to next season? Are you jumping on board again?
Yeah, a bit. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, the driving standards are a bit better, I won't lie. But, you know, F1 2020 game will be nice and refreshing, a new, nice start, so that'd be pretty cool.
I think we've, the 20 lads we have, we can say we're confident, you know, it's good driving. Good driving, you know, tier 1 standard.
What was that?
It's a growing league. It's, you know, me Slater confident enough that it's tier 1 next year will be strong.
Yeah.
You know, Slater's into the pits.
I've just seen that. I think he might be going for the full wets.
5 of them into the pits.
It looks to be really heavy, but it never said safety car in this up and we're racing again. A lot of people.
It's very heavy.
It's really heavy. So, Aspect holds it on the Inses.
Aspect's made. I don't know if he's made the right decision there.
I mean,
very, very heavy.
I think it will dry up a little bit later on, and then all the wet dries, they're gonna have to pit again to go back onto the Inses. So, this has really changed strategy a little bit, though.
Slayer here on this cockpit view. It looks very, very heavy.
Yeah, it's very, very heavy indeed. So
yeah, it's not. It doesn't look. I'm sure we're gonna expect another safety car in here. Slayer gets very close to Mailman. Mailman on the end, and Slayer will go in.
I think it's going to be quite an easy move for Big Slater as he makes the move done well before turn 7. Connell's sitting in behind them right now. I've just realised he's also pit for the wet, so he's going to go up with the inside of Mailman. The wet seems to be much quicker than the interties right now. As you can see, Mailman is under all sorts of pressure from the cars behind him. Right now, these wet weather tyres functioning much, much better than the inters. Here comes Connell. He's going to go up with the inside of Mail. You've got the yellow flag safety 2 already. Mailman gets overtaken quite easily by Connell. Ferrell. Oh, there's somebody around us. Ferrell, actually. I was just about to comment on that, but now he's round and he's in the wall. And he's losing points and time for Williams as there's a safety car again.
There's a safety car.
Oh,
crushed. It's ridiculous.
Come on,
lads. Safety car. There's no need for a safety car to come out.
I know. He's fine, like. Look at him. Ferrell's just got past Gravity, who was in front of him before, but now he's behind him again. So, I know that's interesting. Maybe this is going to mean the people who pit onto the wets are going to pit back onto the inters by the end of the safety car period because it's so long. Is it all going to be dried out again? Yeah, I think it's probably best to stay on the inters.
Michelangelo, put Sharkies in.
I think, if I'm honest, it's better to stay on the inters because
Farrell's coming in. Take me plums of science. Colin and a safety car. Name a better duo. Here comes Slayer. Slayer's gonna. Gravity's going very wide there.
Yeah, some people pull into the pits. It seems some might be going for the full wet, some might be going for the inters, but
Everyone's going.
everyone going for the winters. Winters? Wets.
Wait, Winters. We've Connell held up here now in the pits. I don't know what's going on here. Listen, I'm sure this doesn't matter to Slater. He's won the championship.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
Oh, gravity's just hit the wall.
Oh,
Just buried the wall.
just seen that.
Buried.
Yep, that's just gravity. Oh, he's just punted into the back of Dizzler too. I think Dizzler might slow down quite a lot there. I have no idea, but that's just gravity doing gravity things, spending.
True.
Gravity spends a lot of time on the wall, so this is quite normal. He's got an absolute plank of a wing now, and that's not going to help him at all in this race. It could have actually been a podium for him if he had everything go right, but, you know, he's completely bottled it, and now we've only got 3 drivers on the inters. One of them bunged it into the wall, so the rain is hard right now, but what will it be in a few laps' time? And will the inters become a little bit better, and those wet weather drivers are going to have to pit again?
It's too heavy. If you ride on board with aspect on this cup, if you look how heavy it is, team's confident though.
Yeah, I know he likes those inters tyres. So I think it's a I think it's a possibility that it's going to get a little bit drier again, a little bit lighter on the rain, and these drivers are going to be able to, the people on the inters are going to be able to take it to the end, and everybody on the wets will have to pit back onto the inters and just kind of, by the end of it, you know, just lose time.
35 seconds. That one's up, the elder's up again. That's good to see here when I'm on board how heavy it is. Be a great race to race in. We're racing in all that heat, Singapore, and then the lashings of rain coming down. You'd feel great.
I mean, you still feel a bit humid though. Actually, yeah, very humid because it's wet.
I'd say so. Say so.
That's the worst thing about Singapore. Is the heat and the humidity is just disgusting. That's the worst thing about Singapore. I hate humidity. I don't mind if it's hot. I don't mind if it's a hot dry, but when it's humid, blah, no. I do not approve. But it looks like Gravity's chosen to go for the inters again, so he seems like he's confident it will start to dry out just a little bit. Hopefully there isn't time for one more safety car, because we've already had 3, and it's annoying. I don't like it. I hate safety cars with a passion.
You jinxed it before, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry. I seem to be a curse.
There's gonna be 4 now. Watch, there'll be another one after this.
If there is, I'll cry. I'll break down in tears on stream, and that's not a joke.
There's another safety car. The lads want the Herbert voice. You wanna hope.
To keep everybody, you know, entertained for the stream, I guess I can.
Yes, it's a nice safety car. Look at the aspect. Just riding on the front in front of everybody else. What a nice boy. I like to see him and Marcella. Feed him plenty of popsicles, and when the time is right, I'll feed him the other popsicle, if you know what I mean.
Oh, God.
Love it.
They're all still saying that. They must be.
I think they're just confident that it's going to be
I think the lads in the wets will have more grip.
They definitely will for a while, but then I think it'll dry out, and the people on the inters are going to be stronger again.
I think Aspect knows now if he pits, he's near Bloom last. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd say he may have probably said to himself, I should have went in with all of them.
Maybe. I'm not too sure. He normally thinks things in a race quite thoroughly through. I think he's not incompetent, so he knows what he's doing, but I think he's just trying to take a gamble today.
He's got, he wants a win.
Yeah. He wants to win. He's going to try and go for that win, and he's decided to take a gamble to try and ensure that he gets that win. So if it does get dry enough and the people on the wets are going to have to pit for the inches, then he's in the money and he's going to be able to probably win this race.
Standard of the driving has been good. Three cars, you know, in Singapore, it's not bad at all.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of retirement, it's pretty decent, especially as one of them did retire on purpose. So
it's not needed. Safety cars in this lap.
Thankfully.
See now.
Yeah, so we can finally have some fun racing going again. But Aspect is going to be him leading out this time. Instead of the usual big Slater, we've got some time penalties going on in the background. We could have to wait and see what happens at the end of this race.
10 seconds time penalty for Connell.
But anyway, Aspect backs everybody up for quite a long time. Got quite a few coins to get around before everything starts. As there goes an Alfa Romeo trying to unlock themselves, having a great time. I think that's Danny, but that's Danny just kind of getting in the way of Aspect's view. If I'm honest, it's probably annoying for him. It's not going to help him. But he's got us racing again underway. He's already 2 seconds ahead of Michelangelo, who's going to be under pressure straight away from Big Slater. He's got an unbelievably good exit compared to him. Look at him go. There he goes.
You'll notice the grip here.
But there goes Dizzer on the inside of Dalwazy trying to hold around the outside. We're just going to look at Pat Sharkey from behind and say, see those two. Dalwazy trying to hold around the outside coming through turn 3. Diz is on the inside, except he's going to have to give that one up for now. Maybe he able to try and make something into these next couple of corners, but it doesn't quite happen. Yeah, the wets are just working so much better. He's not going to be able to make that move just yet. Here comes Dizzler though on Dalwazy. Danny lets people through. Dizzler goes around the outside into turn 7. What's that? Oh yeah, I've just seen that.
Switch back.
I think it's possible with the extra grip for the wets. He's going to be able to try and do it. He's much quicker than Aspect right now. Except Aspect's going to try and put up a big defensive job. There's the exit for Big Slater. And I think that's going to be almost fight over unless Aspect could do anything about it around the outside. Inside for the next corner. It's not going to happen except Dizzler and Michelangelo going side by side. Michelangelo had a little bit of contact with Dizzler. Will drift it out a little bit wide. Here's Dalwazy's chance to try and get through now. He's going to do it. Almost goes wide. And there goes Jeffrey around the outside of him. As I think that was Dalwazy just kind of getting pushed into the wall just a little bit. Michelangelo Sully is behind Michael now. Yellow flag sector 2 as Danny gets a 10-second time penalty, which is not fun. Sully going around the outside of the Toro Rosso. If he can get a big squeeze. Jeff is trying to do something. Still goes side by side. He's getting such a big squeeze from Michael. Michael's not having any of that. Here comes Jeffrey. He's going to go by the inside of the racing point. 4P5. He's trying to go for it. The Red Bulls still together. Red Bulls fighting. No team mode is happening here today. Sully with Michelangelo trying to get past. Michelangelo hasn't quite got the pace on the inches, but he's doing a big defensive job. Big Slater.
Slater 2 seconds ahead.
Yeah, Big Slater. The wets are much better. Unless it dries out, then it's Aspect's chances are basically crushed. But Sully, if he can get that good exit compared to Michelangelo, then it's going to be his overtake. There you go. Jeff is going to do it. Is it going to be Dalwazy as well? No, he's too far away. Jeff cannot make a move on Sully just yet, as we've got about 5 laps to go in this race. It's going to be Big Slater in the lead for now, and time is running out for Aspect. As we got one of the Hasses off into Narnia, which is always fun. And Sully's made a little bit of a mistake there. Is this Jeff's chance to get in front of him now? He's in front of him. Sully isn't too far behind. There's a lot of yellow flags happening. I've no idea what people are doing. Jeff goes out wide. He's gone out very wide. He's almost going to spin off into the track. Wise. He's going to try and make an overtake with his teammate. Except kind of got cut off by Jeff there. He was just a little bit too far away to be able to make the move. So it didn't quite come off for Wise, but Pat is joining into this fight now. As we got about 4 cars all fighting for P4 and the podium. Sitting Tracy. Oh, Jeff's made a big mistake. And Wisey has got out in front of him now. Pat was just a little bit too far away to be able to capitalise on that mistake. So that's disappointing for him. Michelangelo is now closed in, but Big Slater 3 seconds ahead of Aspect now.
Jeffers just clipped that wall. Oh, if Pat Sharkey's spun off the right hander.
So Pat's just been overtaken by Michelangelo, makes a little bit of contact with him. Michelangelo gives him a big squeeze. He tends to do that quite often, I found. Pat trying to fight back. Oh, Michelangelo just sent himself into the wall, and Pat has moved up his P8. I think Michael might have got himself a little bit of wing damage from that.
Indeed, he has lost. Oh, just one M plate, sorry.
That's not going to help him.
2 racing points. Connell's up in the back of Ocean now. This isn't good for the Reigns that they're killing this off for the 2 Williams, 11th and 13th. Connell is very close though.
As Gravity decides to pit again, so that's interesting. But now people starting to spread out a bit, so nothing really exciting other than Oshin and Connell. There they go for P11. Oshin trying to hold around the outside, coming into turn 1. Didn't come off for him. Connell stays in P11 for now as Oshin cuts corner. And now there's... Yeah, they go. John's closing in on Michael.
How is he? I'm gonna go for the move here on Sully. Backs off. Oh, really straight into the back of him. Oh, Sully's made a huge mistake.
Yeah, I seen that. Wisey gets out in front of him now. Not many laps left to go.
Check some penalties here. Aspect clean. 10-second time penalty for Dilder. That just mean it's as it stands there. Wisey gets the podium.
Yeah, I imagine there's going to be the Stewards report filled up with penalty removals and stuff, but you know, we'll just have to wait and see. So good luck for the Stewards. But Connell is just behind Farrell now. Here he comes. He's got a good exit compared to him, and I think that's going to be quite an easy move for Connell. Yep, there he goes. Gets past Farrell quite easily. So Michelangelo, Pat Sharkey, he's looked for the inside. He's still looking for the inside. It looks like the Inters have just become better as well. Look at the gap between Aspect and Big Slater. I think the gamble for the Inters might have just paid off, as Aspect's gaining so much time. And it's the same with Michael on Pat Sharkey.
Look at the difference on the straights.
So it looks like... Oh, Jeff just got past Darways as well, but it looks like Aspect might be able to take this race win from a fantastic strategy call. I'm not sure Slater will mind too much though. He's already won the championship, so this race doesn't really matter to him too much. Now this is going to be Aspect's chance, just sitting behind. He can bide his time, he can wait as long as he likes to be able to make this move, but now his exits are much better. And here he comes. Slater defends. Aspect doesn't go for any stupid moves. He's trying to keep it calm. He knows he's quicker. He wants to get past. He's got a big gap behind him, so he can kind of just wait, but he wants to get past. He's trying as hard as he can, but he's not doing anything too stupid, which is always good. As Farrell just spun, I think. Oh, there goes Slater on the exit. Lost it on the exit. Now we can move on to another fight. Yeah. Oh, Jeffer got a really big slide on the rear, and now it's Michelangelo. John's purple's just got past Pat Sharkey, but Darwisey and Jeffer having a little bit of a ding-dong. Michael, he's dived up the inside of Darwisey in the hairpin. Has only just managed to make that move happen in general without crashing out. Yellow flag is 62, not sure what that's for, except it's going to be Michelangelo and Darwisey. Michelangelo gets the position off of Dawazi, and there you go. There's our 4th retirement of the day, but I don't think it's close enough to the end. I think it's too close to the end for a full safety car, so we now got virtual safety car. But Aspect, what a strategy call.
Great strategy call.
Fantastic. Now we've just got to wait for these green flags happening. There you go, we're racing again, and now there's still a fight, a possible fight for P4, Jeff and Michelangelo. Except otherwise he's kind of dropped off that one. Michelangelo on his into ties, he's going to get a much better exit than Jeff for now, except I think Jeff has got that little bit better straight line speed. He's dived up the inside, he's gonna go for it, he's got the better exits as his tyres are stronger. They're old but they're stronger, and he's got the P5 for now, except Jeff is not going to give up. He's going to try and go over the inside if possible, except he's too far away now. It's Michael, he's going to try and line up Sully. Sully goes off a little bit wide, and Michelangelo gets that moved on. Up to P4 he goes, and now he's just kind of miles away from P3, and I just realised there's a 16-second gap between P3 and P2, so that just kind of shows how quick those top 2 drivers really are in this race.
A great call from Aspect that week.
It really was. Same with Michelangelo, to be fair to him.
Sector 2, I'm gonna crash.
That's on the Williams again. I think that might be Connell. Yeah, that was Connell. He spun round. Except we still got this fight for P5 now as Michael. He's kind of gained away from these lot now. It's the 2 Red Bulls fighting together. Darwizy and Jeff are just behind Sully and the last couple of laps of this race.
Slater's into the pits.
Yeah, I think, well, he's got the time to do that. As Sully's got off a little bit wide, Jeffrey's really struggling with his tyres. Wasn't paying too much attention there. I wasn't, but no moves were made. But Sully made a mistake, Jeff made a mistake, so that's pretty interesting. Sully making another mistake, going off a little bit wide. So is Jeff. Oh, the wet weather tyres are not faring well. Sully's going sideways in basically every corner. Same with Jeffer. Darwizy's doing his best to try and get past these two, but it's just not really happening for him. And there goes Jeffer, almost into the pits. Yes, he spun around. The wet tyres have not worked out well for him. Oh, moves onto the racing line. That would have been terrifying. Michelangelo moves himself up to P3. Slater is still probably going to be able to get past Michael as he's just got that little bit better pace. I'd say there he goes. He's on the exit. Much fresher into. It's going to be side by side leading up into turn 7, so we're still going to see a fight. Michael's not going to give up too easy as this is for a podium. Big Slater going to go around the outside in turn 7. Michelangelo holds on the inside, gives a bit of a squeeze, bit of contact being made. Big Slater gets that podium position off and for now. Michael, I don't think he can do much more to hold on to that position, if I'm honest. There you go, Big Slater. He's run off already over a second. But I think this may be how this race will end, is Aspects making the huge strategy call, and he's going to win this race by well over 30 seconds, provided he doesn't make any mistakes. Now Darwizy, is he going to be able to overtake Solly in these next couple of laps? But Aspects going to start us off for his final lap to hopefully take the race win, which is pretty cool, and fair play to him. Really good strategy call, the right move, fantastic from him. More yellow flags happening. I'm not sure what that was. I think that might have been Oshin. I think Oshin had a little bit of an incident, but Big Slater now, he's closing up to Dizzler, and I think this is going to be, he's got much better exit compared to those wet tyres, and I think this is going to be Slater able to make the move up the inside. No, he doesn't actually go for the move into turn 1, but looks like he's still going to be a P2 for Slater as he's put onto those inches. He's gone much quicker. There you go, there's the exit. And he's got that moved on as easy as you like, except there's still a fight. It's going to be Gravity only just going around the outside of Sully into turn 1. He's got out wide. He's had to cut that corner. Darwise's behind him. He's going to be joining this fight. Sully loses out of the position to Gravity. Gravity gets himself P5 despite pissing many times during this race. So Gravity on the inters, working well. Darwise, and Sully's in the wall. There goes Sully. Stuffs it, hits right into a little corner, which is unlucky for him, so it just didn't really bounce off the wall, got stuck in it. But now it's Jeffer behind Pat Sharkey on the final lap of the race. It's for some points. Hang on, I just realised he's side by side with Mailman. The Red Bull is going to be on the inside for the corner. He's just going inside him there. Nice lag. Oh, he's hitting the back of Pat Sharkey. So is Darside Jeffer. I cannot speak. I have no idea what went on there. Mayo lagged into Pat and then... Sorry, Mayo lagged into Jeffer. I don't even know. I can't describe it.
He comes across the line.
Yeah, he's so far ahead of everybody else. But Aspect takes a well-deserved win.
What a call.
Absolutely fantastic from him. Except there's still a fight going on right now. It's Mailman and Jeffer. Mail's on the quicker tyres right now. Except is he going to be able to make any space to try and overtake him? Not too sure. It all depends on this exit now. Goes really wide. Jeffer clipped the wall as well, which means Mailman, he's going to have the better exit. It's almost completely... Actually, it has completely stopped raining. But Jeffer loses that position to P8.
Congratulations. Aspect, and then we can't forget it, our R11 champion.
There you go, Big Slater. Fantastic championship win from him, but what a call from Aspect to get that win by 35 seconds.
Does a jump? Does Gravity jump?
I think he might, as this had a big penalty. There you go, P4.
P4. That was easy. Oh,
hang on, sorry, Sully and Mayo, they're currently having a little bit of a fight, and it's Mayo who's going to come out on top. Coming through the final corner, and Friday doesn't spin, then it will be his position to take for now. As a few drivers who round out our top 10 come across the line now. We just got
Pat Sharkey for the points. Pat Sharkey's gotten a point. Is Connell jumping, was he?
Nope.
No, he doesn't.
Nothing.
Pat Sharkey. It's a point.
Is that a surprise?
Well, it is a huge surprise.
I mean, fair play to him, and that is... We've got one last driver to come across the line. This could be Danny. He's currently coming through sector 3, nice and cautiously. But anyway, what a win from Aspect. Fantastic for Big Slater, but anyway. Yeah, it was just a strategy call that made that race for him. It's the same with Michael. That strategy call really helped them and just propelled them to that position 1 and 3. So fantastic from those two.
Fantastic. One more round left now next week.
Yeah, Japan is going to be a interesting race. It's always a fun track. It's a classic track, so pretty cool. But anyway, here are your podium cities. You got technically 3 Irish people, but apparently 1 rest of the world. But we've got Aspect on the podium, we've got Big Slater of course on the podium, and we've got Michelangelo, a McLaren Ferrari and a Toro Rosso. So congratulations to Aspect on getting that race win. Well done to Michael for getting the podium, and welcome to Slater on the championship. So that's going to round out today, and we're going to run through the grid order, and that'll be the end of today. So we got Aspect taking his first ever win in LOI, so fantastic from him. You got Slater on P2, undoubtedly being on the podium. Michelangelo coming in home at P3, a surprise P4 for Gravity, starting P17. Also, let's not forget Aspect started P16, so that little thing started from the back, having a little bit of fun. Worked out for them. Disser on P5, Darwise P6. Now the start of the loads of penalties for everybody. Got Mailman in P7, Sully in P8, Jeff at P9, Pat Sharkey P10, Connell, Oshin, John Purple, Ben McGarry, Infinity, and Danny, all running out the rest of the people outside top 10. And our DNFs for today was Feral, Green Pies, No Reaction, and Chaos. So that's a pretty interesting race, to be fair. Some fantastic strategy calls. So yeah, anyway, that's going to round out LOI round 11 in season 1 of this league. But anyway, this has been Singapore. It's been pretty interesting. I've been joined by Jay. Thank you for commentating with me.
Thank you very much.
But anyway, I won't be here next week actually. I've got a bigger race I need to commentate on, a nice event. So I won't be here next week, and that's going to be the end of me for this season. You'll be joined by Jay next week, of course. But yeah, anyway, I'll be seeing you all for the... Indeed, I'll be seeing you all for the new game, new season. So anyway, I hope you enjoy the rest of the day, the rest of the week, and the rest of your lives. I'll see you all soon. Thank you and goodbye.